Hello. Before we get into the heart of this series, I want to make one thing clear. This isn't a doomsday prophecy. I'm not here to tell you the world is ending or that a digital monster is coming to devour us. What we're doing here is much more grounded than that. We are simply following the patterns. We are pulling on the threads of evolutionary biology, sociology, and modern data to see where they lead. You see, history doesn't usually move in sudden leaps. It moves in cycles. We've established that our biology has a hardware requirement for order and authority, a biological operating system that hasn't changed in 50,000 years. When we look at the rise of the digital deity, we aren't looking at a supernatural event. We're looking at a description with a trajectory. We're observing how the authority once held by the shaman and the priest is naturally migrating into the cloud, filling a vacuum that the data shows is opening up right now. This series is about epistemic vigilance. It's about recognizing the mechanism while we're still the ones at the controls. Because if we don't understand the thread we're following, we might find ourselves at the end of the line without ever realizing how we got there. So, no fire and brimstone, just logic, data, and the uncomfortable reality of our own wiring.
Look at the stone temples humanity once built to anchor its reality. As these ancient structures crumble, a different architecture is rising to manage our lives, a global network of silicon and fiber optics. This chart tracks a massive demographic shift. Between 2005 and 2025, the world saw a sharp 34% fracture away from traditional faith. Global polls show a steady climb in irreligion and convinced atheism, as over a third of the population walked out of the pews. But the biological hardware remains. Our brains are 50,000-year-old prediction engines designed for compensatory control. When the world feels chaotic, the human mind reflexively seeks out a parental order to lower its anxiety. We are evolutionary descendants of the paranoid who survived by seeing intent in the noise. The decline of traditional worship leaves a psychological vacuum, a massive, unoccupied space where the requirement for authority remains active and unanswered. Denmark and Sweden serve as a sociological control group for this shift, nations operating with almost no religious foundation. This 2005 poll shows the reality of secularization. Look at the bottom rows for Sweden and Denmark. The blue bars, belief in a god, are the shortest. Moving to the green columns, a significant portion explicitly rejects any belief in a god or spirit. These nations maintained stability by substituting religious infrastructure with a different framework: egalitarianism, extreme social trust, and comprehensive welfare systems. The state provides the certainty and support that used to come from the church. The Scandinavian model suggests that the gods are optional, but a strict mechanism for social coordination is not. To keep the tribe unified and functioning, a robust system of control must remain. While Scandinavia leaned into social safety nets, much of the remaining global population moved toward a different solution: automated control systems. We have outsourced our reality to the black box. Chaotic global data enters an opaque, locked cube, and clean, organized directives emerge from the other side to manage our behavior. Modern citizens understand proprietary code about as well as a medieval peasant understood the Latin Mass. In both cases, the tribe has zero visibility into the process. We are required to have faith that the data output is truth. Corporations now use the algorithm as an infallible shield. When a system ruins a life or denies a loan, the data priests can simply say the model identified these optimizations. It is the ultimate dodge of accountability, a king blaming a drought on the will of the gods. We have transferred our blind faith from a person in a robe to a proprietary line of code. Traditional religions offer subjective rewards, often delayed until the afterlife, but the digital deity provides instant gratification. Following the commandments, the terms of service, results in digital grace. The algorithm rewards obedience with visibility, optimized dating matches, and lower interest rates. Disavowing the platform leads to digital excommunication. Disobedient users are shadow banned. Their financial data is reevaluated, and they become ghosts in the machine. This is a more effective deterrent than the threat of post-mortem fire. Even skeptics rely on these data streams to manage their mortgages and retirement planning. If the system manipulates your yields or erases your professional history, the material consequences are 100% tangible. This is the engineering of worship. We are training the world to outsource its discernment to a real-time, interactive AI that provides the guidance we used to seek from the heavens. Humanity has constructed a more efficient cage and called it a cathedral. We pay the admission price with the data of our lives. If we've left the pews, who is sitting on the throne?